What's up guys, welcome back to the YouTube channel. Today we are going to be teaching you guys how to do a no footer. Disclaimer, this is just an instructional video. Please consult a professional before trying new tricks and always ride under the supervision of somebody. As well as always wear a helmet, knee pads, elbow pads, all the protective gear to keep you safe when learning something new. Also, if you actually need in-person coaching and you're in Southern California, San Diego area, check out shredcoaching.com and you can book an appointment with me and I'll help you learn whatever trick you want to do. I'm going to be demonstrating this on my dirt jumper today, but basically this trick is the same on all bikes. Yeah, and it's also kind of a leading up trick to other tricks like a Superman or a no-foot can or just anything where you take off your feet. You gotta practice doing a no-footer first basically to figure out where your pedals are after you take off your feet. And that's kind of it. Alrighty, so with a no-footer, you basically just kind of want to keep your body straight, normal position, chest over the bottom bracket, just a normal straight air kind of body positioning over your bike. So the hardest thing about this trick is when you do it. If you take off your feet too early, the back end will float up and your seat could just like, while your feet are off, could just like float up and the back end goes like this. And when you go to put your feet back on, you can miss pedals. So with this trick, you just kind of have to be a little bit patient. You go off the takeoff, leave the lip, and then you kind of like wait a sec to like level out the bike a little bit and then take off your feet. If you don't, you do it too quick, yeah, the bike will just kind of like float up into you. And we don't want that. We want the bike to just like stay in one position, sturdy, and not move anywhere. So the word I'm gonna use is setting the bike. So you're gonna pop off the lip and you're gonna set the bike into a position that's comfortable. So you don't want the bike, the front end super high up because then it'd be like almost like you're going for a Superman. And you also don't want the front end low. You want it kind of like front tire just a little bit high. It's just like a more comfortable positioning to be in when you take off your feet, and you kind of like will get them back on and then nose the front end back into the landing, and that's kind of just the basis of it. Yeah, so pop, kind of like be patient and set the bike, and then kick out the legs. And then when you're coming back to the bike, I always look at my pedals, or at least like glance at them to see where my front foot goes on and then my rear foot. And then I clamp the bike and land and ride away. Another thing I didn't mention is I tend to grab my like back brake when I come in to catch pedals. Sometimes if my bike's too far like this, grabbing the brake will allow it to the front end to drop a little bit, and also like can help the crank stop moving, especially if your drivetrain's a little bit tight or sometimes the pedals move and stuff like that. But yeah, brake is kind of a handy thing, a little trick to stop the tire, and it brings the bike back into you. All right, so we're gonna kind of do a classic flat ground demo. I definitely recommend doing this. Like if you're on a full suspension bike, it kind of can feel like you're going off a jump because you'll push into the suspension, and then as you're coming up, just take off your feet and like kick them out and look down at your pedals, double check where they are, put them back on. The key thing is if you've never taken off your feet, you don't have the muscle memory of like once they go out, where they come back in, because pedals aren't like next to each other, they're staggered. So you have to kind of train your brain to kick out and get back into that staggered position. Kick out, staggered position. And I would just ride around and just like jump off your pedals and kick out your feet over and over and over again. Start small, then like build your way up, but definitely do it on flat ground and it'll really help you once you get into the air. So flat ground, pretty simple. Just like that. Kick out, look at the pedals, put them back on. So something I didn't point out earlier is, just because it is kind of a controversial thing, I use the takeoff, the transition of the lip, to kind of like pop off the bike. But if you do that, like if you like pump the lip and you're pumping the lip with your legs and you like pop off, if you do it too early, that's where the bike will like kick you and you'll get bucked. And so you do use the lip and you do pump it and then push off, like as if you were like pushing off your suspension on flat ground. But you have to do it like and wait for your back tire to leave the lip to push off, if that makes sense. So that's the patience key that I didn't really want to like mention before. Give it a go without thinking of that first, to really like kind of like pop and get the legs spread apart, and get away from the bike a little bit. You kind of use the lip to like your advantage and pop off of it, but you just have to be patient on when you do that. All right, we're almost ready to go try it off the takeoff. But I'm gonna set up a camera on the side as well as in the front, so you can kind of see where my feet, or sorry, where the bike is when I'm taking off my feet from the side, and then from the front angle of just like what the trick looks like. Sound good? So that's basically it. I hope all these trick tips helped, and I hope you get your no footers dialed. Thanks for watching, everybody. Please like, subscribe, it really helped me out, and comment, and hopefully this video will reach other audiences that are also looking for how-to videos. So we'll see you on the next one. Peace.